I kept telling myself I was just tired, that the long shifts were messing with my head, but my chest felt strange as I climbed the stairs to Lena's apartment. I carried the folder with our wedding plans, thinking she'd smile when she saw me. Instead, I heard Adam's laugh inside. For a moment I froze, telling myself he was only visiting, but something in their voices made my stomach twist. I stepped closer, holding my breath. I didn't want to believe anything bad, yet fear pushed me forward. When I reached the door, it was cracked open just enough to see everything. Lena stood there with her hands on his chest, smiling in a way she never smiled at me anymore. Adam whispered something I couldn't hear, and she laughed softly, leaning closer like she belonged there. My pulse pounded so hard I felt it in my ears, drowning out every thought except one: betrayal. I kept waiting for them to stop, to pull away, to say something that made sense, but they didn't. Instead, Lena said, "He's too gentle to ever confront us." Adam answered, "That's why this works." Their words hit me harder than seeing their bodies so close. It felt like my ribs cracked inward. I wanted to walk in. I wanted to scream, I whispered, but my throat tightened. I tried to move, but my legs wouldn't obey. I stayed there, trapped in a moment I never asked for. My breath shook as I listened to them talk about my life like it was disposable. "Do you think he suspects anything?" Lena whispered. Adam chuckled. "He trusts too easily. He won't see it coming." Hearing my own brother brag about how blind he thought I was broke something inside me. It wasn't anger at first, just a cold emptiness spreading through my chest. I stepped back slowly, careful not to make a sound. My hands shook so much the folder slipped from my fingers and hit the floor, scattering our wedding papers across the hallway. I stared at them, photos, plans, colors Lena chose while pretending she loved me. Everything suddenly looked fake, like a stage set. I crouched down to gather them, but my vision blurred. I didn't cry. I couldn't. My body felt locked, frozen between heartbreak and disbelief. "I'm such an idiot," I whispered to myself, my voice barely audible. Saying it out loud hurt more than seeing them together because it felt true. I thought about knocking, about forcing them to face me, but the idea made my chest tighten. I wasn't ready to hear their excuses or lies. I wasn't ready to see the shock on their faces, pretending they cared. I knew they'd twist everything until I questioned my own reality. So I turned away and walked down the stairs, each step heavier than the last. My phone buzzed with a message from Lena, probably asking where I was, pretending everything was normal. I didn't open it. I couldn't listen to her voice without hearing the way she laughed with Adam. Outside, the cold air hit my face and made my eyes sting, but I welcomed the pain. It felt real, unlike everything I just saw. I sat on the curb, gripping my head, trying to breathe. "Why?" I whispered. "Why him? Why like this?" I didn't expect an answer, and none came. All I could think about was how easily they spoke about me, like I was some harmless obstacle they'd stepped over. I thought Lena loved me. I thought Adam respected me. But they treated me like a joke. A fool. Someone too weak to deserve honesty. That realization cut the deepest. I stood up slowly, wiping my palms on my jeans. I didn't know what I was going to do next. I only knew one thing. The version of me who believed in them died on that doorstep. Whatever came next would be different. I wasn't sure if it would be better. Just different. As I walked away, I told myself I'd face the pain later. I needed to breathe and move. I didn't know it yet, but this moment would shape everything. I showed up at Lena's place the next morning telling myself I needed answers. But the moment she opened the door with swollen eyes, she whispered, "Are you mad at me?" And I felt my thoughts twist. I said, "We need to talk." She stepped back and said, "Talk about what? Did something happen?" Her voice shook, but something about it felt rehearsed. I answered, "You know exactly what I'm talking about. I saw you and Adam yesterday." Lena covered her mouth dramatically and said, "You must have misunderstood. Adam was comforting me. You've been so distant." I felt heat rise in my chest. "Comforting you? Is that what you call it?" She shook her head quickly. "Please don't twist things. You're stressed. You're tired. You probably imagined more than what happened." Her words cut deeper than yesterday. "I didn't imagine anything," I said, though doubt started crawling in anyway. Adam walked out from the hallway and rubbed his eyes like he had just woken up. "What's going on?" he asked. Lena grabbed his arm like she needed protection. I glared at him. "You know what's going on." Adam frowned. "Bro, I was here because Lena was upset. That's it. Don't make something weird out of nothing." "I heard you," I said firmly. Adam lifted his hands. "Heard what?" "Seriously, man, you're acting paranoid." Lena nodded quickly. "You scared me this morning with your texts. Why are you so angry?" Her voice cracked perfectly like she practiced it. I stepped back, feeling the hallway spin. "I'm not crazy," I muttered. I left before they could trap me in more lies. At work, Jessie noticed immediately. "You look awful," she said. I forced a smile. "Rough morning." She stared at me like she saw straight through me. "Is it Lena again?" "Adam?" I froze. "What do you mean, again?" She sighed. "I always felt something was off between them." My hands trembled. "Why didn't you tell me?" Jessie gave me a sad look. "Because you were happy. And you never would have believed me." I swallowed hard. "I should have seen it." She shook her head. "Don't blame yourself. Some people hide their worst parts from the ones they want to fool." I whispered, "Everyone knew, except me." Jessie whispered back, "I'm sorry." I sat at my desk pretending to work, but Jessie's words kept echoing. Little moments I ignored started replaying in my head. Lena texting Adam late at night. Them whispering when they thought I wasn't looking. Canceled dates. Missed calls. I gripped my chair and muttered, "How blind was I?" Jessie called from her desk. "You weren't blind. They were sneaky." By the time I clocked out, my anger had hardened into something heavier. On the walk home my phone buzzed. It was Mom. Her message read, "Adam deserves happiness too. Don't make trouble." I stopped in the street staring at the screen. "So that's it," I whispered. "I was never the chosen one." My chest tightened as I kept walking. "Why is it always him?" I muttered. I imagined Mom saying the same thing she always said, "Adam just needs more help than you." But now I understood what she meant. He deserved everything and I was supposed to give it. I said out loud, "I'm done being the safe choice." By the time I reached my apartment, my thoughts were a storm. I tossed my keys on the table and said, "I'm done letting them decide who I am." The room felt too quiet, so I spoke again just to hear my own voice. Everyone knew. Everyone saw what I refused to see. I sat on the edge of my bed, gripping my knees. "Tomorrow," I whispered, "I stop pretending nothing happened. Tomorrow they face me." Saying it out loud gave me strength. For the first time, I felt the beginning of something new growing inside me today. I stood in Lena's living room, staring at the engagement ring on the table. She hovered near me, her voice soft. "Why won't you look at me? Can't we talk about this?" "No," I said quietly. "There's nothing left to talk about." She stepped closer. "If this is about yesterday, I already told you." "I'm done," I said, cutting her off. My voice didn't shake. It surprised even me. The wedding. The relationship. Everything. "I'm done." Her breath caught. "You don't mean that." "I do." I pushed the ring toward her. "This belongs to you now." She grabbed my wrist. "Please don't do this. You're overreacting." "I'm reacting," I said, pulling free, for the first time. The front door opened and Adam walked in with a smirk that made my stomach turn. "Wow, you really told her," he said. "Guess she chose the better brother after all." I looked at him and something dark flickered inside me. "Better?" I asked. "Is that what you call yourself?" He shrugged. "She picked me. That says everything." Lena whispered, "Adam, stop." But he didn't. "You should thank me," he continued. "At least now you can move on." I stared at him for a long moment. I wanted to lash out, scream, break something, but instead I said, "You're right. I am moving on." I walked past both of them, leaving their stunned silence behind me. Outside the air felt thin. I called Jessie. When she answered, she asked, "Are you okay?" "I ended it," I said. "Everything." She paused. "Do you want company?" "No. I just need air." I rubbed my temples. "I think I'm leaving town for a bit." "That might be good," she said gently. "A break." "A break," I repeated, though it felt more like escape. 2 days later, I sat in a small cafe in a coastal town a few hours away. I wasn't sure what I was looking for, peace maybe or direction. While staring at my untouched coffee, a voice said, "You look like you lost a war." I looked up to see a well-dressed man watching me with curious eyes. I sighed. "Something like that." He pulled out the chair across from me. "Mind if I sit?" "Go ahead," I said, too tired to care. "I'm Hale," he said. "Mr. Hale if we're being formal." I nodded. Well, I'm trying to figure that out." He chuckled. "Fair enough. Want to talk about what happened?" Normally I wouldn't tell a stranger anything, but something about him felt steady, like he'd carry the truth without dropping it. So I told him the short version. My brother and my fiancée betrayed me. I walked away. He whistled. "That's a hard hit." "Yeah," I said. "But yelling won't fix it." I just needed to breathe. He leaned back. And what will you do next? I don't know, I admitted. I've spent so long planning a future that wasn't real. Mr. Hale studied me. You're calm for someone who just lost everything. I think losing everything made me calm. He grinned. Interesting answer. You sound disciplined. He tapped the table. Ever thought about changing careers? I blinked. Why would you ask that? Because you handled pain without exploding, he said. That shows control. People like that are rare. He slid a card toward me. I run a company. I need loyal people, people who don't break easily. Why me? I asked. Because you didn't choose revenge and anger, he said. That tells me you'll think before you act. That's valuable. I turned the card between my fingers. You don't even know me. I know enough, he replied. And I trust my instincts. I hesitated. If I say yes, then what? Then you start fresh, he said. You rise. The word rise echoed inside me. I whispered, maybe I need that. He nodded. Then take the chance. I slipped the card into my pocket. All right. I'm in. He smiled. Good. You won't regret it. As he walked out, I exhaled slowly. I told myself I chose this for a new life. But deep down, something else whispered inside me, quiet, sharp, powerful. Revenge had taken root. My first day at Mr. Hale's company started with him saying, stay close, watch everything, and don't talk unless it matters. I nodded quickly. I can do that. He smirked. Good. Most people can't. I followed him through the office, taking notes as he barked orders to different teams. You're quieter than I expected, he said. I'm learning, I replied. Good answer, he said, tapping a folder. I like learners. During lunch he asked, why'd you take my offer? I needed a new life, I said. A life that doesn't fall apart because of other people's choices. He leaned back. Then earn it. I don't promote pity, I promote results. I worked hard, harder than I ever had. Late nights, early mornings, endless tasks. I asked questions only when needed. Every day Mr. Hale said the same thing, control your mind and everything else falls in line. I repeated those words to myself every time I felt emotions rising. One evening Jessie called. Are you alive? You disappeared. I'm working, I said, sounding more tired than I meant to. Working or running? She asked. Maybe both, I admitted. Do you like it there? Yeah. It feels right. She laughed softly. Then keep going. Don't look back unless you have to. Weeks turned into months. One morning Mr. Hale entered my cubicle and tossed a report onto my desk. Fix this mess. I flipped through it. This is the senior manager's project. And now it's yours, he said. I blinked. Why me? Because you're the only one here who pays attention. What happens if I fail? He shrugged. Then you fail. I stared at the papers. So no pressure? He grinned. All the pressure. I worked nonstop for 3 days, barely sleeping. When I handed him the final draft, he scanned it silently. I waited, sweating. Finally, he said, you just did 3 months of work in 3 days. Was it good enough? I asked. He closed the folder. You're promoted. My heart jumped. Wait, really? Don't make me repeat compliments, he said, walking away. I let out a breath I didn't know I'd been holding. A week later, Jessie and I met for coffee. She stared at me and said, you look different. Different how? Stronger, she said. More sure of yourself. I shrugged. Mr. Hale pushes me. I have to keep up. You're keeping up, she said. I'm proud of you. Her words warmed something in me I thought I'd lost. Thanks. I didn't think anyone noticed. I notice, she said softly. Back home I got a message from Mom. Your brother is having a hard time. Be nice to him. I sighed. What happened now? I called her and she answered. He lost his job again. Why? I asked. He says the boss hated him. Or maybe he didn't do the work. She clicked her tongue. You're being judgmental. I'm being honest. She sighed. You should talk to him. No, I said firmly. He's your brother? And he made his choices. I cut in. Let him learn. She hung up without another word. 2 days later, I heard from a cousin. Did you know Lena's complaining about Adam? My stomach tightened. Complaining how? She said he's not the man she thought he was. He's lazy, broke, and doesn't listen. I leaned back in my chair. Interesting. She sounded miserable, my cousin continued. I'm sure she did, I said, trying not to smile. Do you feel sorry for them? No, I said. Not even a little. That night, Jessie called again. You sound lighter today, she said. I heard some news. Good news or bad news? Depends who you ask, I said. She laughed. You're becoming mysterious. Maybe, I said. Or maybe I'm just changing. Change is good, she whispered. Especially for someone like you. What does that mean? That you cared too much, she said. Now you're learning to care for yourself. Her words stayed with me long after the call ended. Back at work the next morning, Mr. Hale stopped me in the hallway. You settling into the new position? Yes, I said. I think I'm ready for more. He raised a brow. Ambition. Good. Don't lose it. As he walked away, I felt something shift inside me. Strength maybe. Discipline. Or the quiet satisfaction of watching karma do its work without my help. For the first time, I didn't feel broken. I felt rebuilt. 1 year later, Mr. Hale walked into my office and said, You ready for another promotion? I blinked. Another one? He smirked. Don't act surprised. You earned it. I exhaled slowly. What's the role? Team manager, he said. You'll lead 5 people. Big clients. Big expectations. I nodded. I can handle it. I know, he replied. That's why it's yours. When he left, Jessie rushed in a second later. Is it true? I laughed. Word travels fast. You're a manager now? Yeah. She grinned. I told you you'd rise. Didn't I? You did, I said softly. Thanks for believing in me. She nudged my shoulder. Just don't forget me when you become CEO. My days became packed with meetings, deadlines, and strategy sessions. My team looked to me for direction, and I gave it without hesitation. Every time someone asked, How did you think of that plan? I answered, I just stayed calm. Mr. Hale repeated it often, control the mind. Control the outcome. I carried those words everywhere. One afternoon, after a long client briefing, the receptionist called me. Someone's waiting outside for you. Who? She hesitated. He says he's your brother. My chest tightened. I walked outside slowly, mentally preparing myself. Adam stood near the entrance, hunched and thin, hands stuffed in his pockets. His clothes were wrinkled and his eyes looked hollow. When he saw me, he tried to smile. Hey, long time. I crossed my arms. What do you want? He flinched. Can we talk? We're talking. He looked around nervously. Not here. Please. No, I said. Say it now. He swallowed hard. I need help. I raised an eyebrow. With what? He rubbed his face. Everything is falling apart. I lost another job. Lena's packing her things. She says she's done with me. And? I asked. He stared at me, confused. And I need you, man. I need you to help me get back on my feet. I let the silence stretch. He shifted uncomfortably. I know we've had problems, he said, but you always helped me. You're the stable one. The strong one. You fix things. I used to, I said. Not anymore. He blinked. What does that mean? It means, I said calmly, you made your choices. Now live them. He stepped forward. Wait, don't do this. Please. I'm desperate. You were fine throwing me away when it suited you, I said. Remember? He shook his head quickly. Look, I messed up, okay? I know that. But you're my brother. You can't just leave me like this. I can, I said. And I am. His voice cracked. Lena said I wasn't enough. She said I'm useless. That's between you and her, I replied. You don't care? He asked. No, I said. Not after what you did. He covered his face, breathing unevenly. I thought you'd be angry. I thought you'd yell. I was ready for that. I shook my head. Anger would mean I still cared about your opinion. He stared at me, stunned. So you're really not gonna help? No. He stepped back. Who are you? You never talked like this before. I changed, I said. Life forced me to. He ran his hands through his hair. Just loan me some money. A month's rent. That's it. No. He snapped. Stop acting like you're better than me. I replied, I don't act. I just finally see the truth. His shoulders slumped, all fight gone. I thought you'd save me. That's the problem, I said. You always expected me to. He looked at me like he didn't recognize me. Fear crept into his eyes, the kind that comes when someone realizes their safety net is gone. You're really leaving me like this? He whispered. You left me first, I said. You just didn't notice. He nodded slowly, defeated. I don't know what to do now. That's not my problem, I said. He turned away, stumbling as he walked down the sidewalk. I watched him go without a shred of guilt. For the first time I saw the shift clearly, him falling, me rising. The balance that once trapped me was breaking. I whispered, "You're afraid because you can't control me anymore." And for the first time in my life I felt completely steady. 3 weeks passed before I saw Adam again. I had almost convinced myself he'd disappear for good, but the receptionist called me one morning. "There are 2 people asking for you," she said. "Names?" I asked. She hesitated. "Adam and Lena." My blood cooled. "Send them up." When the elevator doors opened, Adam stepped out first, shoulders slumped. Lena followed behind him, eyes glossy like she had practiced looking fragile. I folded my arms. "What do you want now?" Adam cleared his throat. We need to talk." "We already did," I said. And I was very clear. Lena stepped forward. "Please listen. I know you hate me, but—" I cut her off. "Don't assume what I feel." She swallowed. "I regret everything. I made a mistake. I was confused. I didn't know what I wanted." Adam flinched. "Can we not do this right now?" I raised an eyebrow. "You dragged her here. You can deal with it." Adam sighed. "Look, we're both struggling. Lena's staying with a friend. I'm behind on rent. I can't find work." "Not surprising," I said. He stared at me. "I need a job. I heard your company is hiring." I couldn't help but laugh. "You want me to hire you?" Lena stepped closer. "We know it sounds crazy, but please. You're doing so well now. You're stable. You can help." I looked her dead in the eyes. "Why would I help you?" She bit her lip. "Because I was wrong. Because you didn't deserve what happened." I shook my head. "That doesn't answer my question." Adam rubbed his face. "Man, I'm begging here. I need something. Anything." "You didn't beg when you took my life apart," I said. He snapped. "I already apologized." "You didn't," I said calmly. "And even if you did, it wouldn't erase anything." He lowered his head. "I know, but please. I'm desperate." The silence stretched between us. I watched them shift uncomfortably, waiting for the old me to show up. The brother who fixed everything, the man who gave without being asked. But that man was gone. I exhaled slowly. "Fine." Adam's head jerked up. "Wait, really?" "Don't get excited yet," I said. "I'll hire you as an assistant. Low level. Basic tasks only." Lena blinked. "Assistant?" "But Adam has experience." Adam hissed. "Lena, stop." I continued. "You'll report directly to me. You'll follow my rules. No exceptions." Adam swallowed. "Whatever you say." "You'll start next week," I added. "Minimum pay. Probation period." He nodded quickly. "Thank you." "Really?" I smirked. "Don't thank me yet. You're going to work harder than you ever have." Lena stepped forward again. "What about me? Can we talk privately?" "No," I said. She frowned. "Just 5 minutes." "Why?" I asked. "Because I miss you," she whispered. Adam stiffened. "Lena." She ignored him. "I miss how safe you made me feel. How patient you were. I didn't realize what I had." My voice stayed flat. "You realized? You just didn't care." She reached for my arm, but I stepped back. "Please," she said. "Just hear me." "I heard you," I said. "I heard everything the day you chose him." She shook her head. "I chose wrong." I raised my chin. "You chose your future. Now live with it." Her eyes widened, like she expected softness that no longer existed. "Is that it?" she whispered. "That's it," I replied. Adam exhaled shakily. "Can I come next Monday at 9? "Yes," I said. "Don't be late." He nodded. "I won't." I saw the humiliation in his eyes, the same eyes that once looked down on me. Now he couldn't even meet my gaze. As they headed to the elevator, Lena turned back. "If you ever want to talk." "I won't," I said before she could finish. The elevator doors closed. I stood there for a moment, letting the silence settle. Then I whispered to myself, "This is my victory." Watching him swallow his pride didn't heal everything, but it was the first time I felt the power shift in my favor. And I wasn't done yet. Adam showed up late on his first day. I looked at the clock, then at him as he rushed into my office. He gasped. "Traffic was bad. You know how it is." I said calmly, "Everyone else made it on time." He tried to laugh. "Yeah, but I'm your brother." I stared at him. "Not here. Here you're my employee." His smile faded. Right. Sorry. Sit, I said. Let's go over your tasks. I explained everything slowly, checking if he understood. Halfway through he sighed. This is basic stuff. Then you'll finish it fast, I replied. He looked annoyed but nodded. Sure. By noon he had already messed up 2 reports. I called him into my office. What happened? I asked. He shrugged. I wasn't trained properly. You were trained for 30 minutes, I said. More than enough. He groaned. Come on, man. Cut me some slack. No, I said. I treat everyone the same. You wanted this job. Earn it. He muttered under his breath but walked out to fix the mistakes. The second week was worse. He arrived late twice, misplaced files, and kept asking others to help him. By Wednesday, Jessie poked her head into my office. Is he always like this? She whispered. Yes, I said. She shook her head. How did you survive growing up with him? I smirked. By being patient. She laughed, then whispered, You're too patient. Not anymore, I said. That afternoon Adam barged in. People are giving me looks. Because you're not doing your job, I replied. He threw his hands up. I'm trying. Try harder. He stared at me like he couldn't believe the words came from my mouth. You used to help me with everything. That was before, I said. Now I expect you to stand on your own. Days passed. He kept failing, kept struggling, kept approaching me like my approval could save him. But I offered nothing more than fairness. No warmth. No softness. One evening after everyone else left, he knocked on my door. Do you have a minute? He asked quietly. I gestured to the chair. Sit. He didn't sit, he collapsed into it. He rubbed his eyes and whispered, I can't do this. You can, I said. You just don't want to. He shook his head. No, you don't get it. Everything's falling apart. I leaned forward. Then make it stop falling. He looked up at me with tired red eyes. You think I didn't see how good you got at everything? You think I didn't see people trusting you? Respecting you? I hated it. I raised an eyebrow. You hated me for being responsible? No, he said softly. I envied you. For a moment the room felt too quiet. I envied how calm you were, he said. How you didn't need to show off. How you didn't break when people pushed you. I always felt like I was running and you were just standing there winning. I didn't speak. I let him continue. He swallowed hard. Lena chose me because I was exciting, fun, reckless. And now? I asked. He laughed bitterly. Now she says I ruined her life. Did you? Probably, he whispered. But she ruined mine too. He leaned back. She blames me for everything. Money, work, stress, everything. She says being with me feels like drowning. I said nothing. He looked at me with a shaky smile. Funny, right? She chose me to escape your boring stability, but now she wants the stability I don't have. She didn't love you, I said. He shook his head. She didn't love you either. I know, I replied. He exhaled sharply. So what were we even fighting for? You weren't fighting for love, I said. You were fighting to hurt me. His face crumpled. I didn't mean. Yes, I said. You did. A long silence stretched between us. Finally he whispered, I'm becoming the man I used to make fun of, huh? No, I said. You're becoming the man you always were. You're only seeing it now. He held his head in his hands. I don't know how to fix anything. You start by taking responsibility, I said. Every day. Every task. Every choice. He nodded slowly. I want to change. Then work, I said. Not for me. For yourself. He looked up, eyes wet. Why are you still helping me? I'm not, I replied. I'm telling you the truth. What you do with it is your choice. As he left my office, shoulders heavy, I felt something unfamiliar. Not anger, not victory, but clarity. My revenge wasn't loud at all. It was watching him finally face the truth he ran from his whole life. Adam showed up at my door on a Thursday night, pounding like the world was ending. When I opened it, he stumbled inside smelling like alcohol. She left me, he blurted. I closed the door. Who? He laughed bitterly. Who do you think? Lena. She's gone. I leaned against the counter. Where'd she go? With some guy who owns a company, he muttered. Bigger house, bigger car, bigger wallet. Guess she finally found the excitement she wanted. I stayed silent. He dropped onto the couch. She didn't even say goodbye. Just packed and walked out. Sounds familiar, I said. He winced. Don't do that. You did it to me first, I replied. He rubbed his face and whispered, I'm losing everything. I don't know who I am without her. You were never yourself with her, I said. He sat up. Help me get her back. I stared at him. No. He blinked. You didn't even think about it. There's nothing to think about. He scooted closer. Please. Talk to her. Tell her I'm changing. No. Why not? Because she doesn't want you, I said. And because I'm not fixing things you broke. He shook his head wildly. She said I wasn't enough. That I'm too much trouble. That I'm dragging her down. I sighed. She's not wrong. He glared. You really hate me, don't you? Hate takes energy, I said. I don't waste energy on people who hurt me for fun. His expression crumbled. I didn't hurt you for fun. Yes, you did, I said quietly. Both of you did. He opened his mouth to argue, but I cut him off. Do you want to know the truth I learned the day you stole my fiancée? He looked away. What? If you break someone's heart for fun, I said slowly, your own heart will be the one that never heals. He froze, then whispered, so, this is my karma? Yes, I said. This is what choosing pain gets you. He stared at the floor. I should have listened. I should have stayed away from her. I should have been a better brother. You should have been a better man, I corrected. He covered his face with both hands. I don't know how to start over. You already started, I said. You're facing consequences. That's step one. He nodded weakly. Will you at least let me keep the job? As long as you work, I said. No shortcuts, no excuses. He whispered, I'll try. The next morning at work, Mr. Hale stepped into my office carrying a folder. I have news, he said. I raised an eyebrow. Good news or terrifying news? Somewhere in the middle, he said. I'm promoting you again. I blinked. To what? Executive strategist. High-level work. Better pay. More travel. More power. I took the folder slowly. Why me? He smirked. Because you think before you speak. You act before you panic. And you don't break. I appreciate the trust, I said. You earned it, he replied. Don't make me regret it. When he left, Jessie walked in seconds later. I heard about the promotion, she said. I smiled. Word travels insanely fast here. She leaned on my desk. So, are you happy? I think so, I said. I feel steady. She nodded slowly. Good. You deserve steady. Her voice softened. Can I tell you something? Yeah, I said. She hesitated, then said, I like you. I was stunned. You what? I like you, she repeated. I didn't say anything before because you were healing. But now, you're different. Stronger. I swallowed. I don't know if I'm ready. She smiled slightly. I didn't say we had to rush. I want to try, I admitted. Her smile widened. Good. Because I think we'd be good together. When she left, I exhaled a breath I hadn't realized I was holding. That evening I passed Adam's desk. He was typing slowly, focused, quieter than ever. He looked up. I'll get better, he said. Good, I replied. Do it for yourself. As I walked away, he whispered, I'm sorry. I didn't respond. Some things didn't need answers. Standing in my office window, watching the city glow below, I finally understood something deep in my bones. Revenge wasn't about destroying him. Revenge was rising so high he could never reach me again. And I had risen.